Welcome to today's Explainer. I am so incredibly excited to jump into this with you today because we're looking at one of the absolute most fascinating frontiers in modern technology. We're unpacking mixed reality. Now, this is a subject that's quietly but permanently reshaping how we as humans see, touch, and even interact with information itself. By the end of this explainer, you're going to have a crystal clear understanding of the whole shebang, from the wild optical physics of the lenses right down to the massive market forces driving this tech straight into our everyday lives. All right, let's quickly run through our agenda. Number 1, defining the reality spectrum. Number 2, the origin story. Number 3, how mixed reality works. Number 4, the hardware and market. Number 5, real-world industry impact. And finally, number 6, challenges and the future.
Section 1, defining the reality spectrum. So, to kick things off, we really need to anchor ourselves by clearly defining what we're actually talking about here.
It is so easy to get these buzzwords confused. Let's look at the two extremes. On one end, you've got augmented reality, or AR. This just overlays digital info on the real world, but without any deep physical understanding. It's kind of like a flat sticker pasted right over your phone's camera feed. Then, on the totally opposite end, you have virtual reality, or VR. VR completely blocks out your physical room and replaces it entirely with a computer-generated world. You're completely closed off.
And that brings us to the sweet spot we're focusing on today, mixed reality. It's this richly textured middle ground defined by two absolute game-changer capabilities, occlusion and anchoring. So imagine a virtual dragon hopping onto your actual physical coffee table. Because of anchoring, that dragon stays exactly where you put it as you walk around the room. And because of occlusion, if you place your real-world coffee mug in front of the dragon realistically hides behind the mug. It's genuinely interacting with your physical environment in real time.
Section 2, the origin story. So where did this mind-bending tech actually come from? Let's trace it back.
Believe it or not, this isn't a new idea at all. Back in 1968, Ivan Sutherland built the first head-mounted display. It was notoriously nicknamed the Sword of Damocles because the hardware was so incredibly heavy, it literally had to be suspended from the ceiling right above the user's head. Just wild. Then, fast forward to 1994, Paul Milgram and Fumio Kishino published a foundational paper mapping out the reality-virtuality continuum, which formally gave us the exact vocabulary that we still use today.
Section 3, how mixed reality works. Now we get to the real engineering magic trick underneath it all.
How exactly does a machine learn the shape of an entirely unknown room? Well, the answer is a brilliant computational process called SLAM, simultaneous localization and mapping. It solves the ultimate chicken and egg problem. How do you map a room while simultaneously figuring out where you are inside of it? It basically happens in 4 rapid-fire steps. First, propagation uses sensors to guess your movement. Second, feature extraction uses depth cameras to find visual landmarks, like the corner of your bookshelf. Third, mapping takes those points and builds a 3D model. And fourth, the update step continuously verifies your position against that new map. And the crazy part? It does this dozens of times per second.
Okay, so once the system knows the room, how does it get the images into your eyes without blocking your view of the real world? The solution is something called waveguide combiners. Basically, tiny projectors shoot light into a piece of transparent glass, and the light literally bounces internally through that glass until it redirects perfectly straight into your eye. At the exact same time, infrared sensors are tracking your eyes. This enables something super clever called foveated rendering. The headset only maximizes the graphical resolution exactly where your pupils are looking. Everything else in your peripheral vision gets blurred, which saves massive amounts of battery and processing power.
Section 4, the hardware and market. Let's look at the actual devices out there as of mid-2026 and see how they stack up. Comparing the two biggest titans right now, Apple and Meta, we clearly see totally different strategies. Apple positioned the Vision Pro as this heavy, high-priced technical pinnacle. It costs nearly $3,500, weighs a hefty 750 grams, but it boasts an absolutely incredible 23 million pixels. On the flip side, Meta dominates the mass market with the Quest 3 at just $500. It's much lighter, actually has a slightly wider field of view, and acts as a really accessible entry point for everyday consumers. But you know what might be the most fascinating metric of all? 167%. That is the massive year-over-year growth in the first quarter of 2026 for display-free smart glasses, like the Meta Ray-Bans. While those bulky headset sales have actually contracted a bit,
The market for lightweight, socially acceptable smart glasses is just exploding. This is a huge signal. It shows a structural pivot in the entire industry toward ambient, wearable computing that doesn't isolate you.
Section 5. Real-world industry impact. We have to talk about how this tech isn't just some cool theory anymore. It's driving serious, measurable return on investment.
Take healthcare, for example. At top institutions like Stanford and the Cleveland Clinic, surgeons are viewing a patient's true 3D anatomy floating right there in space before they ever pick up a scalpel. Studies show this spatial clarity leads surgeons to alter their original operative plans in 32 to 52% of cases. That is life-changing. Over in manufacturing, giants like Airbus and BMW are using digital twins and remote expert overlays to project step-by-step assembly instructions directly onto physical machinery, radically cutting down on human error.
And think about high-stakes training, like repairing a dangerous high-voltage grid or working on a jet engine. This consequence-free virtual environment slashes training costs by up to 90%. No wonder 75% of the Fortune 500 use it. And in retail, the ability to project a perfectly scaled, photorealistic couch into your actual living room before you pull the trigger on buying it has driven spatial commerce into an $11.26 billion market. It's a real game changer.
Section 6. Challenges and the future. All right, to be completely intellectually honest here, we absolutely must confront the sobering realities and the risks of this technology.
Grounding the health concerns in hard data, roughly 25 to 40% of virtual reality users experience genuine cybersickness. Why? It's a sensory conflict. Your eyes are perceiving movement on the screen, but your inner ear, your vestibular system, correctly tells your brain that your physical body is sitting completely still. That mismatch causes very real, very unpleasant nausea for a huge chunk of users.
Then we have the privacy reality check. Think about it. We're talking about devices that continuously capture an unprecedented volume of highly sensitive data. They're mapping the inside of your private home. They're tracking exactly what objects your eyes dart toward, and they are capturing intimate biometric data. And as researchers bluntly point out, right now there is almost zero comprehensive metaverse-specific regulation anywhere in the world to govern how all this data is used or protected. Kind of wild, right?
So looking forward to the immediate horizon, the most crucial shift we're seeing is AI convergence. Smart glasses are rapidly becoming physical front ends for large language models. They see what you see, they hear what you hear. Plus, to finally get rid of those bulky hand controllers, companies are pushing neural wristbands. Now, these don't read your thoughts. Instead, they intercept the subtle electrical motor signals your brain sends to your wrist nerves. This allows you to control digital interfaces with nearly invisible finger twitches.
And this really points to the ultimate long-term trajectory, according to the leading experts. A prominent Columbia University neuroscientist recently noted that there is no known fundamental law of physics that would categorically prevent virtual reality experiences from eventually becoming functionally indistinguishable from ordinary physical reality. Let that sink in.
So, let me leave you with this final, provocative thought. As companies push closer and closer toward direct brain-computer interfaces, what happens to our perception of reality when the physical screens, the headsets, the glasses, when they disappear entirely? The boundary separating the physical world from the digital one is actively blurring right before our very eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.